Good morning, my dear friends. We note in our this Sunday's liturgy, that we have this end times reading, end times theme for the closing of our liturgical year. Next Sunday is already the solemnity of Christ the King, the last Sunday in ordinary time. It will conclude our liturgical year and enters a new cycle. So, my dear friends, what can we reflect today in our liturgy? We have only two things. Just recently, I reviewed my homilies, and it's a little bit long, so I'll try to keep it short. So I have only 2 points to share with you for our reflection. These two things is what the gospel calls for us, and that is trust in God and patient endurance. Trust in God. The picture of wars, insurrections, which we heard in our gospel reading, that nations will rise against nations, earthquakes, famines, and plagues, and terrible sights, this naturally stirs in us fear. But that is not the message that the gospel is giving us. In fact, the opposite, for the gospel encourages us, and we hear it said, fear not. And if we refer to the same message in our first reading, we also hear the prophet saying to us, lo, the day is coming, all the proud and evildoers will stumble, leaving neither root nor branch. So, my dear friends, whatever terrible things that are happening around us, we, the faithful people of God, are secured. As Jesus said in our gospel, not a hair on our head will be destroyed. For we believe that God is in control. So the simple invitation for us, my dear friends, is to have faith, to trust in God. Now, I would like to share with you for our reflection and perhaps insight of what it means to trust in God or to have faith. And if you don't mind, I would borrow a word in our language, in Tagalog, which describe what faith is. I hope you don't mind. Okay. So there are several words in Tagalog which refers to faith. But this one particular one is a special one, I would say. And this word is sampalataya. So if you want to make it into an action, so pagsampalataya. So sampalataya is actually one word in Tagalog, but it is a contraction of 3 different words. We can actually dissect this word into 3. And we will come up with 3 points with what faith is all about. Sam is a contraction of the word isa, which is one. Pala, sampalataya. So pala is always. So palagi, so always. Taya is referring to bet. When you are gambling, so you bet. And so if you have the word sampalataya, you have the sense of faith as betting always on one thing. And that one thing is no other than God. So if we have faith, if we have trust in God, we always bet on God. And ultimately, my dear friends, if we have that faith, always betting on God, whatever happens. I don't know. I'm not so familiar with gambling, and I don't know. I can only picture with horses, race horse and something like that. And you have a favorite horse or something, and you won't change betting on other horse, but your favorite one, so, something like that. So that is faith is all about, betting always on one thing, or in this case, betting always on God. And for sure, my dear friends, if we always bet on God, we will secure ultimately victory. For God will always accomplish His will and His plan. Now, moreover, my dear friends, God in this life did not promise us an easy life. He showed us in the example of Jesus, His passion, death, and resurrection, the Paschal mystery, which also the pattern of our life as His followers. Sure, we will be victorious when we persevere. So patient endurance, my dear friends, in all our trials in life. Yes, we do struggle and we go through all sorts of difficulties, but we have to embrace them in the spirit of sacrifice in our day-to-day life. If you want to relate this one to our second reading, you cannot go more practical than the advice of St. Paul to work silently, to earn the food that we eat. Never lazy, always anchored on God, always betting on God, being faithful to Him, and always holding on to Him. That is what is demanded or what is required of perseverance in our day-to-day life, being faithful to Him. And my dear friends, I have one more image for you to conclude this. I'm already in the second point, so, right. So I have an image for us of what is perseverance look like. And I give you the crab. The crab. You know what crab is? So let me relate to you the giant mud crab story in my former mission in Papua New Guinea. So one time our brother, a brother who belongs to our order, so we were together in the community doing what is necessary in the mission. So this brother was preparing dinner for us, and crab was in the menu. Now, he was busy talking to somebody and not paying attention at all. Then all of a sudden, we hear a loud cry, "Ah!" He was bitten by the crab. And you know what happened? So of course we were alarmed. We come out to his help. So we tried to help him, remove the claw that is grabbing his finger. And so we tried and tried to no avail. So we thought of removing the claw from its body. But you know what happened? It's still holding on. So he was bearing all that pain all that time. So until we used the pliers, to crack open the claw. And so poor brother, he has to endure those, but finally he was set free. Now, that my dear friend is an image for us to reflect on what perseverance is all about. The crab as an image of perseverance speaks to us of taking hold, right? Taking hold. And when it takes hold, it will hold on. It will hold on. You should try it. No. Even if you remove it from its body, it will still hold on and it will never let go. So my dear friends, in this liturgy, we pray that God will grant us the gift of always trusting in Him. And may we always persevere in following His will.